Okay, dear students, so let's start our class now, and we'll be continuing solving problem to properties of triangles, in which I will give questions one by one, and and then we will all of us will discuss solution to these questions. So first questions, what you are going to get in few seconds, and here it is. Okay, as you see here, we need to find the value of uh, 2 sine p minus sine 2p by 2p plus sine 2p. Okay, so that we can first simplify a little bit. Okay, so the given expression, what is given, dear students, is that that 2 sine p minus sine 2p divided by 2 sine p plus sine 2p. So that we can simplify something like this: 2 sine p minus sine 2p is 2 sine p cos p divided by 2 sine p plus 2 sine p cos p. Correct, dear students? And from there we can take the sine p common. So we can take 2 sine p common, and that will also get cancelled. So we will end up with 1 minus cos p divided by 1 plus cos p. Since sine p is not equal to 0, because if sine p is equal to 0, we cannot cancel, and sine p cannot be 0 because then the question will not be meaningful. 2 sine p plus sine minus sine 2p by 2 sine p plus sine 2p should be in the form of 0 by 0. So now we know 1 minus cos p is equal to 2 sine square p by 2, and 1 plus cos p is 2 cos square p by 2. So what we get, it is actually tan square p by 2. Now, dear students, let's see what value of tan square p by 2 we are aware of. If you look into the formula, then tan square p by 2 should be equal to, if we draw a triangle something like this, in which this is P, this is Q, and this is R, and opposite to P, if we define as A, and A is equal to 2 units, it is given. Opposite to Q it is B, and that is given as 7 by 2. And opposite to R, if we define C, that is equal to 5 by 2. Then what is tan square P by 2? We can find it out. If you look into the formula, dear students, that is equal to S minus B into S minus C divided by S into S minus A. Now, it is very easy to find what is the value of S minus B, S minus C, because we know ABC, and hence we can find the value of S. What is the value of S, by the way? That semi-perimeter A plus B plus C by 2, that is equal to 2 plus 7 by 2 plus 5 by 2 divided by 2. So 7 by 2 plus 5 by 2 is equal to 6. 6 plus 2 is 8 by 2, that is equal to 4. So we find the value of S equal to 4. So we can apply these values here, that 4 minus 7 by 2 into 4 minus 5 by 2 divided by 4 into 4 minus 2. Let's find it out, the value. 4 minus 7 by 2 is actually 1 by 2 into 4 minus 5 by 2 is equal to 3 by 2 divided by 4 into 2 is 8. Okay, one thing, as we need to express that solution in terms of delta, that is the area of the triangle. So this method will not work. So what we need to do is that we need to bring delta here. So to bring delta, what we can do is something like this. That we can write is that, S minus P into S minus C we got. So we can write here is that in the numerator, we can write S minus B into S minus C is complete whole square, because I am multiplying one more S minus B into S minus C in the numerator, so that in the denominator we can get S into S minus A into S minus B into S minus C. So this equal to what we get, dear students, is that we get S minus B into S minus C. In the denominator too we get delta square, because from the Heron's formula we can write this thing. And S minus B means here B is what? 4 minus B is 7 by 2. So 4 minus 7 by 2 into 4 minus 5 by 2 complete whole square divided by delta square. 4 minus 7 by 2 is equal to 1 by 2 into 4 minus 5 by 2 is equal to 3 by 2 complete whole square divided by delta square. So that is equal to 9 by 4 delta square. That means 3 by 4 delta whole square. So that is equal to, we get 3 by 4 into delta whole square. And eventually we get the correct option as option C. Dear Devansu, is absolutely understanding clearly? Any doubt?
Yes, sir.
So if you look into this, there are two points here. One point is that to simplify that given trigonometric expression to tan square P by 2. And that is one part. And second part is that, applying the correct formula. And sometime, dear students, that you will be given the triangle as PQR instead of ABC. But accordingly, you need to, change the formula. Change the formula means that in the name of this one, that instead of A, we are seeing it is P. If you look into the formula, what we discussed earlier, there we, know the tan square a by 2 is equal to s minus b into s minus c divided by s into s minus a. So here you need to change accordingly. Slight change, but that is also important. Sometimes questions comes like this. Instead of the triangle ABC, it is PQR. Okay, dear students. So now I'm moving to the next question. And next question will be available to you in another few seconds. And as you see, dear students, the trigonometry and you know this thing is 1-1 correspondence. Just a minute, dear students. Previous question I forgot to mark it. And here is question number 2, dear students. Go ahead and do it. So let's first, draw the diagram. I think this is the best way to approach this particular problem. So if we draw the diagram, it looks like something like this. Just a minute. So B is angle 11, the angle B, one is 22.5. So there is a small mistake here. Angle C is equal to 20. There is a small mistake in this question, dear students, is that angle B is 112.5 degree. So let me correct this one. Angle B is 112.5 degree and angle C is equal to 22.5 degree. Okay. So angle B is 112.5 degree. That means it is an obtuse angle and BC is the base. So let's draw the BC base here. And the triangle will be something like this. ABC. A, B, C. And this angle is 112.5 degree. And this angle C, is given as 22.5 degree. So then this angle A should be what? Angle A should be 180 degree minus 112.5 degree plus 22.5 degree. So this implies angle A is equal to 180 degree minus what we get is that 5 that is equal to okay, I think there is a mistake I have done. 22.5 degree. Just a minute. 135 degree na. So anyway, you will get this angle A is as equal to 45 degree. So we get this as 45 degree. Now what is the question? Question is that then altitude, its altitude, okay. Okay, the base B, the altitude means that we need to find the value of this. If we draw a perpendicular from A to BC, okay. So this, if we take D is the foot of the perpendicular drawn from A to BC, from vertex A to the base BC, then AD is equal to H. We need to find the value of H. Okay, how we can find the value of H? So for that, what we can do is that one thing we can find it out is let's take dB is equal to X. If this angle, if the angle dBA should be, 67.5 degree, because the other angle is 112.5 degree. So it is 67.5 degree. This angle is 67.5 degree. So in the triangle, so in the, let me write properly, dear students. In the triangle ADB, we get, what we get, dear students? That tan of, okay, not tan, because I need to express, we need to find the value of H. So to find the value of H in BC is given as 6 centimeters. So how we can find it out is that let's do that sine of 67.5 degree. Sine of 67.5 degree, dear students, it is equal to H by AB. Correct? So from here, what we find the value of H? H is equal to AB sine 67.5 degree. By the way, 67.5 degree value you need to remember, dear students, as I said earlier during that trigonometric functions days, is equal to square root of, what we can write is that 2 plus root 2 by 2. 2 plus root 2 divided by 2, that is the value of sine 67.5 degree, that is equal to H by AB. So from here, what we get, the value of H is equal to square root of 2 plus root 2 divided by 2 into AB. So this we give an equation number 1. Now let's see how we can find the value of AB. To find the value of AB, dear students, we can take the help of sine formula. So what we can write? A by sine A, that is 6 by sine 45 degree. 6 by sine 45 degree is equal to, AB by sine 22.5 degree. Correct or not? AB by sine 22.5 degree. So from here we find the value of AB is equal to 6 into sine 22.5 degree divided by sine 45 degree. Now sine 22.5 degree, that value you need to remember, and that value is equal to so 6, so as it is there, square root of 2 minus root 2 by 2, 2 minus root 2 divided by 2, and sine 45 degree we all know this is equal to 1 by root 2. So from here what we find the value of root 2 AB is equal to, so from here we get the value of AB is equal to 6 into 6 into root 2, 6 by root 2, that is equal to 3 root 2. So you can write AB is equal to 3 into root 2 into square root of 2 minus root 2. So this we can give an equation 2. So from equation 1 and 2, from 1 and 2, what we can find the value of H, dear students. So from here we can find the value of H is equal to square root of 2 plus root 2 divided by 2 into 3 into root 2 into square root of 2 minus root 2. So this implies H is equal to 3 by root 2 into 4 minus square root of 4 minus 2. So that means what we can write is that 3 into root 2 by 2 into square root of 4 minus 2, square root of 2 minus root 2 into square root of 2 minus root 2. So square root of a plus b into a minus b, that is a square minus b square, that is 2 square minus root 2 whole square, that is 4 minus 2. 4 minus 2, square root of 4 minus 2 is what? Root 2. So 3 into 2 by 2, that is equal to 3. So we get the required altitude is 3 centimeter, and we get the correct option as option D. Any doubt, dear students, please do let me know. Okay, the next question I'm going to give you, dear students, and I expect that you also provide answer to it. So here the question is that let PQR be the sides opposite to the angle PQR respectively in a triangle PQR. If R square sine P sine Q is equal to PQ, then what type of triangle it is? Equilateral, acute angle but not acute angled but not equilateral, obtuse angled, or right angled. Okay, so to approach this kind of problem, first let's see that what is given to us, and from there what we can achieve. Okay, dear students, so let's first think what is given to us. It is given to us that R square sine P sine cube is equal to PQ, and that we need to apply, that this we need to take into consideration. So let me write it down, dear students. So it is given as r square sine p sine cube, r square sine p into sine q is equal to pq. Now, what we can do is that, so from this analysis, one thing we can, just to construct the triangle. As I said in the earlier also, you will get questions where the triangle is not exactly given as, ABC. Here it is given as PQR, and QR is P, PR is Q, lowercase q, and PQ is lowercase r, as you see, dear students. Okay. Now, so we know, then what we can say is that P by sine P is equal to Q by sine Q is equal to R by sine R. So now what is R squared then, dear students? So what we can write is that, we can assume this is equal to K, suppose K being a real number, then R square should be equal to K square sine square R, isn't it? So let's write it down then. Then what we are going to get, P is equal to K sine P, Q is equal to K sine Q, and R is equal to K sine R. So now let's apply all these values here. So what we are going to get, R square is equal to K square sine square R, K square sine square R into sine P into sine Q. That is equal to P is equal to K sine P, and Q is equal to K sine Q. So that is equal to K square sine P into sine Q. Correct, no? So from here, what we can get is that, so this K square we get cancelled because K cannot be equal to 0. Because if K is equal to 0, the entire assumption that P by sine P is equal to Q by sine Q is equal to R by sine R equal to K is of meaningless. So then what we can write is that sine P into sine cube into sine square R minus 1 is equal to 0. So from here, what we can write, dear students, sine square R is equal to 1. So from here, we can take the value of sine R is equal to plus minus 1. But dear students, any angle of a triangle, here R cannot be, minus 1. Okay. So the acceptable value of sine R, acceptable value of sine R is equal to 1, because sine R cannot be equal to minus 1. So now from here, sine R is equal to 1 means what? What value of sine is 90 degree? 1 is equal to 90 degree, sine 90 degree. So this implies R is equal to 90 degree. So what we get is that it is a right angle triangle. And eventually we get the correct option as option D, dear students. Any doubt, please do let me know. I hope it is clear.
No, sir, I understood this, sir.
Clearly understood? Great. The next question, what we're going to discuss, and I'm going to give you in another few seconds. And as you notice, dear students, that all these questions are based on the you need to apply both the things, trigonometric simplification as well as that application of the proper formula what we have discussed earlier. Now, dear students, question number 4 is in front of you, and here it is asking that in any triangle ABC, the simplified form of cos 2a by a square minus cos 2b by b square is what? Okay, so let's solve it together. You also solve it and do let me know. First and foremost thing is that what comes to our mind is that what formula we can use to solve it. You know, if you see, there is no direct formula for cos 2a in terms of the properties of triangles, right? So then how we can make it in a different manner? So how we can simplify the entire thing so that it falls into the formula we are aware of. So what is the expression given here, dear students? Cos 2a by a square minus cos 2b by b square. So from here what we can write, so if you see cos 2a we cannot carry cos 2a because there is no formula we are aware of. But there is no formula we are aware of as long as the properties of triangles is concerned. But we can apply the formula of trigonometric functions, dear students. So what is cos 2a? Cos 2a is 1 minus 2 sine square a. Correct or not? 1 minus 2 sine square a by a square minus 1 minus 2 sine square b, 1 minus 2 sine square b by b square. So this is equal to what? 1 by a square minus 1 by b square. We take it out. And then what we left with, dear students, is that we get plus 2 into sine square b by b square minus sine square a by a square. Correct, dear students? Now, what we know? We know, let me use in a different color here. We know a by sine a is equal to b by sine b. That implies what? We can write sine b by b is equal to sine a by a. That implies what? If we take square of both sides, sine square b by b square is equal to sine square a by a square. So that implies what? Sine square b by b square minus sine square a by a square is equal to 0. Now we can apply this value here. So what we finally we are going to get? 1 by a square minus 1 by b square plus 2 into 0. So we get 1 by a square minus 1 by b square, and eventually we get the correct option as option C. Any smallest doubt, dear students, please feel free to me. Never hesitate. Just see the way this problem has been solved. Okay. So the next question, what I'm going to give you, dear students, it is slightly different type of questions, and we will solve together. And the question, as you see, dear students, is in front of you. That question number 5. So it says that if in a triangle ABC, sine A, sine B, and sine C are in arithmetic progression, AP, then which among the four options are correct? Option A, the altitudes are in AP. Option B, the altitudes are in HP, that is harmonic progression. Option C, the angles are in AP, arithmetic progression. And option D, the angles are in HP, harmonic progression. So how to proceed this kind of question? Let's see it. Okay. So first, we need to understand what is the altitude formula. Okay. So if we take that P1, P2, P3 means it's the altitude of this triangle ABC. Okay. So there is a formula. If you recall this formula, let P1, P2, P3 are the altitudes of the triangle ABC. Let P1, P2, P3 be the altitudes of the triangle ABC. So then what we can say is that there is a formula, dear students. Then we can say A is equal to 2 delta by P1 and B is equal to 2 delta by P2 and C is equal to 2 delta divided by P3. Now, as it is given that ABC, the sine A, sine B, sine C are in arithmetic progression. So what you can write? One thing we can write is that sine B is equal to sine A plus sine C by 2. Sine A plus sine C by 2 because sine B becomes the arithmetic mean of sine A and sine C. Correct? So now let's, from here what we can find it out. So from here, from sine B is equal to sine A by, so we know what, dear students, A by sine A, always remember this thing. A by sine A is equal to B by sine B. That is equal to C by sine C. And that we write is as K. K be a real number. So then from here what we find the value of sine B? Sine B is equal to B by K. Sine C is equal to C by K. And sine A is equal to A by K. So now if we apply this thing, so what is sine B? Sine B is equal to B by K. B by K is equal to sine A is equal to A by K. It is A by K plus C by K divided by 2. So that implies B is equal to A plus C by 2. Since K is not equal to 0, dear students. Now, as we get B is equal to A plus C by 2, so let's see how we can, one thing to pretty sure that we need to express everything with altitudes. So as B is equal to A plus C by 2, so what we can get, B is equal to what? 2 delta by P2 is equal to 2 delta by P1 plus 2 delta by P3 divided by 2. So from here we can, cancel 2 delta. And if we cancel 2 delta, so what we can get is that, and if you simplify, you will get P2 is equal to 2P1 P3, 2P1 into P3 divided by P1 plus P3. Obviously, from here what we can say, P2 is the harmonic mean between P1 and P3. That means P1, P2, P3 are in harmonic progression. This implies P1, P2, P3 are in HP, and eventually we get the correct option as option B, dear students. Any doubt, please do let me know, dear students. These are the questions are of extreme importance for entrance examinations. Next question, dear students, is going to be available to you in another few seconds. And here it is. If C is the right angle of a triangle ABC, if C is the right angle of a triangle ABC, then what is the value of sine square A by sine square B minus cos square A by cos square B? One thing to pretty sure, dear students, just by looking into the question, I hope you agree to me that we need to, convert this, sine square B, sine square A and sine square B, especially the cos square A and cos square B. That's pretty sure. That's how we can do it. Okay. And this is a very interesting question, not very difficult question, but interesting question, dear students. So let's see how you can do it. You also do it, dear students, along with me. I do it little slowly because I need to explain for each and every student. So if you get your result earlier than me, please do let me know. So what you need to find the value? We need to find the value of the expression sine square A by sine square B minus cos square A by cos square B. And one condition is given to us is that angle C is equal to 90 degree. That means here, dear students, angle A plus angle B, angle A plus angle B, that should also be 90 degree, because we know the sum of the three angles of a triangle is 180 degree, correct? So now, as this is the case, we can have two things we can conclude from here. That angle A is equal to 90 degree minus angle B, and angle B is equal to 90 degree minus angle A. So let's find this value of this expression then. So sine square A minus sine square B, we'll keep it as it is. Why, dear students? Because we know the formula, there exists formula A by sine A equal to B by sine B, that we can apply later. So that motivates us not to change anything on sine square A by sine square B at this moment. But cos square A and cos square B, we need to, change, because there is no direct formula of cos square A we are aware of, as long as the properties of triangle is concerned. So what we can write, dear students? Cos square of A means what? 90 degree minus B, and cos square in the denominator, it is cos square 90 degree minus A. So this is equal to what we get, dear students? Sine square A by sine square B minus cos square of 90 degree minus B means sine square B divided by cos square 90 degree minus A is sine square A. Now this is a very interesting position we have kept. That's why I said the question is also interesting. Now, dear students, let me use a different color, and as we all aware of, A by sine A is equal to B by sine B. So what we get, so let's assume this is equal to K, for example. So from here what we can write, sine A is equal to A by K. and sine B is equal to B by K. So why we are writing like this, no, dear students? Because all the four options given to us is in the form of, side A and B. So we need to, convert that angle, sine square A, that angle, trigonometric functions of these angles, whatever you see, sine square A by sine square B, to in the form of the sides, expressed in the form of sides. So this thing we can apply here. If we apply here, so what we are going to get, the value of sine square A is equal to A square by K square. It is A square by K square divided by B square by K square minus B square by K square divided by A square by K square. So what we see, dear students, that K square get cancelled. It is A square by B square minus B square divided by A square. So that we simplify to get which formula, which options we can get, f to the power 4 minus b to the power 4 divided by a square into b square, and eventually we get the correct option as option B, dear students. Please have a look into it and never hesitate to let me know if you have any smallest doubt here, dear students. Okay, so the next question you are going to get in another few seconds. So question number 7 is in front of you, dear students. So here in a triangle ABC, the value of its sides are given to you. That is, A is equal to 8 centimeter, B is equal to 10 centimeter, and C is equal to 12 centimeter. Then what relationship you can find between the angles of the triangle out of the four options as you teach, dear students, in front of you? So let's see how we can proceed to this one. First, you need to know that how to approach this kind of question, dear students. To approach this kind of question, we need to find the relationship between the angles and what is given to us, the sides. So what comes to my mind, dear students, is that, can we apply the formula related to cosine? Because that we can find it out, dear students. If you recall the cosine formula, dear students, so it is something like this, that cos c is equal to what? A square plus b square minus c square divided by 2 into a into b. Okay. So let's find it out, and also we can find it out about cos a also. And what is the value of cos a is equal to b square plus c square minus a square divided by 2bc. So one thing to pretty sure that we are able to find the value of, cos c and cos a, because we know the value of lowercase abc. And what I want to consider at this moment is just c and a, because there are two options I see, option C and option D, which are related to relationship between C and A. So let me first focus on that. If we do not get any relationship between C and A, then I will find the value of cos B. So dear students, so from here what you can find the value of cos C is equal to A square will be what? 64. A square is 64, 8 square, plus B square is equal to 10 square is 100, minus C square is actually 144, 12 square divided by 2 into A into B. So 2 into A is actually 8, into B is 10. And cos A That is equal to b square plus c square minus a square. B square is about 100 plus c square. C square is actually 144 minus a square is equal to 64 divided by 2, BC. So 2 into B is what is 10 and C is what is actually 12. Now it is just simply, simplification. So I am not spending this time to simplify. So you'll get cos C is equal to 1 by 8 and cos A is equal to, we get 3 by 4. Okay, if you simplify, you'll get this thing. Now, dear students, what we can do is that as there are a relationship between C is equal to 2A or C is equal to 3A, option C and option D, that motivates me to find the value of 2A. What is cos 2A? So, dear students, to find the value of cos 2A, cos 2A is equal to what? 2 cos square A minus 1 from the trigonometric formulas, we know, trigonometric functions formula. So from here, what we get is that cos 2A is equal to 2 cos square A, so 2 into 9 by 16 minus 1. Correct, now, dear students? So from here, what we find the value of cos 2A is equal to, it is 9 by 8 minus 1, that is equal to 1 by 8. Now that we get a good value, we get good value with respect to the question what has been given to us. So we get cos C is equal to 1 by 8 and cos 2A is also equal to 1 by 8. And now if we merge together, so what we can say that cos C is equal to cos 2A, which implies C is equal to 2A, dear students. And we get the correct option as C. I hope you got it, dear students. Now, before I conclude the class for today, what I want to say you, dear students, so I solved 7 questions and I explained all these questions slowly so that you get the idea of how to solve these kind of questions, dear students. Now, what you need to do, you need to, appear for extensive practice tests. Okay. The more you appear for practice test, more you actually, be very comfortable with this type of questions. So as all of you are aware and as you have logged into the, KonarClasses platform, all you need to do, I hope you are able to view the KonarClasses website, dear students. Can any of you please confirm? Able to view it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Just log in. Give your login and password here. You see, it is a matter of few seconds to log in. After successful login, go to practice test and just write triangles. You will get properties of triangles. Okay. And write practice test. So the more you appear practice test like this, the more you will become comfortable in solving these type of questions and more you are nearing towards achieving great results in the engineering entrance examinations. It is as simple as that. There is no rocket science behind it of the achievement. Only thing is that practice after practice. Okay. Do this thing as you are aware of it. Quickly appear this thing. And after that, obviously, please, submit the self-assessment. I'm just quickly, answering it. But what you need to do after that is that to complete the self-assessment. That means each and every question you need to answer this type of thing. Read the question, why it got wrong. So that all of your, feedback, all of your input should actually go to our software system and you use some latest technologies called machine learning to come up with some, great insight about your, learning and preparation. So with this, dear students, I would like to conclude the class for today, unless you have any specific question or comments for me. The class note will be available in another 15 minutes from now, and the entire lecture of today's session will be available in maximum 2 hours from now. With this, I will conclude the session for today. Thank you very much.